hair. Nobody wants to be bald. Oh, okay, that looks better. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a Q&A. I asked you guys on my Facebook and on my Instagram to send me makeup and beauty related questions, and I got quite a few. So I have them on my little papers right here. So I'm just going to go down the line and I'll read off the question and then I'll answer the question to the best of my ability. So I'm going to give you my opinion on these questions, and then you can take or leave whatever you choose to take or leave. So you guys, if you could see my desk right now, like a freaking tornado. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure that you guys like this video and subscribe and hit the little bell to the right of the subscribe button. You know the drill. If you're new here, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you subscribe so that you get to join in and whatever this is. I'm not even sure what I'm doing anymore. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, so the very first question was, what is one makeup trend that you think is overrated? And I'm probably going to get somebody that like has a complete heart attack when I say this. And I have done this before, but I do not like it. For some reason, I have just something that comes over me when I see people wing out their eyeliner to like their hairline. I don't know why. It drives me insane, but it does. It is called eyeliner. So if your eye stops here, why does your eyeliner stop all the way over here? Just a question. Obviously, it's a trend that has been going around. People like it. It gives you like this neat little cat eye effect. I'm just not into it personally. Every once in a while, I'll do like the tiniest little wing just to get that cat eye effect. But what I'm talking about here is like whenever you bring your eyeliner all the way to your hairline, I don't get it. I don't get it. The next question was, what is your go-to foundation? And I actually have two. I have a foundation for like everyday, and then I have a foundation for like date night and when I'm going out, you know, and I want to look a little extra nice. My everyday go-to foundation is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I am in the shade Creamy Ivory, and this color melts onto my skin. It looks absolutely amazing. This is my color 100%. I don't have to mix in anything. I don't have to blend it out so that everything blends together. It literally just melts into my skin and looks amazing. For like date night and stuff like that, I go in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. The Maybelline foundation is like $6 to $8, and this one right here is actually $48. So there's a $40 difference in these foundations. I have had this bottle of foundation. I don't honestly know how long you're supposed to keep foundation, but I'm pretty sure that I have exceeded that time. I've had this foundation for over a year now, and I love it. It's a little bit too dark for me right now. I need to go back and get one that's the shade lighter. I just haven't done that yet because it's $48 and I'm just like getting the last little drop. The next question actually came from my Instagram, and it was, why do you wet your beauty blender to apply your makeup? I feel like whenever you don't wet it, your beauty blender soaks up more product. Obviously, like we just said, this is a sponge. Your foundation is a liquid. A liquid is going to soak into a sponge, so you're basically going to waste a whole lot of product when you don't have to. So I wet my beauty blender for 3 reasons. 1, it makes it bigger, it covers more area. 2, I feel like my foundation lays a whole lot more smooth and like melts onto my skin. And 3, I want to savor as much foundation as possible, especially whenever I'm using my $48 foundation. So I wet this in hopes that it does not soak up all of my foundation and it applies better to my skin. The next question was from my Instagram as well, and it was, does a brush give better coverage than a beauty blender? And that answer is maybe. You guys know that I rave and rave and rave about my Morphe 439. I have never ever had a foundation brush that works as well as this brush right here. It is this brush is absolutely amazing. I love it. I used it tonight to apply my foundation and my skin looks amazing. This brush does wonders. I don't know. I love it. I love it so much. I will say that I was very, very iffy about buying this brush for my foundation because other brushes I've used in the past have left my skin really streaky and, you know, the bristles fall off. I just was not a fan of using a brush to apply your foundation. I do know for 100% that a beauty blender, a wet beauty blender, pushes the foundation into your skin. It gives you, I felt like, more coverage than a brush. So I swear by putting your foundation on with a wet beauty blender. But ever since I bought this brush, for some reason, I've just been attached to it. I kind of like it more than I like my husband. Don't tell him that. If you've never tried a brush to apply your foundation, I highly recommend the Morphe 439. You guys know that I use it in probably every single one of my videos. I do want to try the Y6 because Laura Lee raves about that one, and I might get that one next. But for now, this is my go-to for foundation if I don't use my Morphe sponge. The next question was, how do I pick my concealer color? As you guys know, your foundation color should match your skin pretty well. There's different undertones, but we'll get to that in a second. When it comes to your concealer should be 1 to 2 shades lighter than your skin tone. It should not be the exact same shade as your skin tone. What you are wanting to do is brighten up your under eye, brighten up certain parts of your face. It's just going to bring so much brightness to your face and make you look more alive. I personally conceal under my eyes, my chin, my nose, and a little bit on my forehead. And I've just found that that just works for me. Some people do not like to highlight their forehead and do not like to highlight their chin because they either have a lot of texture or some, you know, acne scars, and that's totally fine. You highlight what you want to accentuate, and those are just things that I have found that I like to accentuate. So you have to figure out what works for you and then just roll with it. I also got asked if there was a difference between cream contour and powder contour. And that honestly is just a matter of opinion. If you like cream products better than you like powder products, I personally like a cream contour over a powder contour. There is no rhyme or reason to it. I have used both. I like them both, but for some reason, I've just always really liked a cream contour over a powder. This right here is right now my Ride or Die contour palette, and it is from e.l.f. And this is their cream contour palette, and I just really love it. I also have this BH Cosmetics Studio Pro contour palette, and it's a powder. So I like them both, but if I have both of them sitting right beside me, I'm going to pull for the cream contour. That's just my personal preference. So you just have to figure out what works for you, what you like better, and go with that. Okay, this was probably my most favorite question that I got because it's such a good question. And this is something that I did not know until about a year or two ago. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. I had somebody ask me about colored concealers. You know, there's green, purple, orange, yellow. I had somebody ask me what each color does and when and where to put each color. And I read that question and I was just like, that's amazing. That's such a good question. And it's something that a lot of people don't even talk about anymore because a lot of people don't even use color correctors anymore. I don't use them all the time. The only time I really use a color corrector is I use like a green tinted primer, and I put it on my cheeks because I do have red rosy cheeks. So we're going to go down the line and talk about each color concealer and what they can do for your skin. There's 6 different color correcting concealers, so we're going to go ahead and get started. The first color is green. There is a green concealer that you can buy, and green cancels out redness. So if you have redness from a pimple, if you have redness on your cheeks like I do, like rosacea, if you have any type of redness, a zit, pimple, acne, anything like that on your face, green will actually cancel out the red. So before you put on your foundation, if you want to pack a little bit of the green concealer on top, then it will completely cancel out the red. You can lay your foundation over top and it should not peek through at all. There is also purple concealer. Now, purple concealer can actually cancel out any yellow undertones that you do not like. If you have yellow undertone to your skin, everybody either has pink undertone or yellow undertone to their skin, and then some people can be kind of neutral. So if you notice that your skin is a little bit more yellow rather than red or pink, then purple can actually cancel out a lot of the yellow undertone in your skin. Okay, so now there is yellow concealer. Yellow concealer is probably probably the one that I see most people using. Yellow concealer can cancel out under eye circles, bruises, and veins. If you have veins all over your eye, or you have any kind of veins all over your face, if you have any bruising on your face, or if you have any under eye dark circles, it can cancel out your under eye circles because it completely masks that color, and then you put your foundation over top and it literally cancels out the dark circles, guys. So if you have a newborn, or you just are not sleeping well and you have those dark circles, put a little bit of yellow concealer or orange concealer. Orange concealer is actually, if you have a lighter skin tone like me, you do not want to put orange concealer under your eyes, but if you have a darker complexion, then you can use the orange concealer to cancel out any dark circles as well. There's also a pink concealer that is used for brightening around your eyes. A lot of people use pink concealer whenever they are really, really tired. It cancels out, kind of gives that illusion that you're not super tired when you actually are. The only time that I use pink concealer is when I am so tired, and it is so obvious that I'm tired, and the pink concealer just makes me look like I got a lot of sleep and that I'm not as fatigued as I feel. The last color concealer is white. Now, you want to be so careful when you use white colored concealer. White concealer is used for highlighting. If there is any spot on your face that you want to highlight, you can use the white concealer. Do not use too much of the white concealer, or you will look like you are at your funeral. You'll look like a corpse. So basically, use it with a very, very light hand. Do not use a ton of it. Do not put it all over your face. You will look like a mime. Don't do it. I had somebody ask me why their foundation looks super orange whenever they put it on, and that is what I was going to talk about whenever I said something about yellow or pink undertones. If you have more of a yellow undertone and you pick a more pink foundation, your face is going to look orange. And the exact same thing goes for if you have a more pink undertone and you pick a yellow foundation. It is not going to look right. You have to figure out what kind of undertone your skin has, and then you have to go from there with picking your foundation. Picking foundations can be so tricky, especially whenever you are in like Ulta or Sephora. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that if you go into Ulta and Sephora and they show you a foundation and they're like, oh, it's going to look beautiful on your skin, that's totally fine. Try it on, swatch it, love it, have them put it on for you. But let me tell you, before you purchase that foundation, leave the store, walk outside, look up, look at the lights, make sure that that foundation looks the same outside as it does inside. I have put on a foundation in Ulta before and bought it, got outside, and it looked like a completely different color. Guys, the lights that they use in these stores make everything look so nice. And so you want to make sure that in natural lighting, your foundation matches perfect. Do not trust it if you are just wearing it in the store and you go ahead and buy it, because by the time you get home and you put it on and you walk outside, it's not going to look the same. So if you're going to buy a foundation, it's totally okay to swatch it in the store, try a little bit of it on your face, but do not go by what your face looks like in that store. You need to go outside in the natural light and see what it looks like outside. I also had somebody ask me what oxidation is. Basically, oxidation it's a combination between the oils in your skin and your pH level. So if you put a foundation on, whenever I'm saying it oxidizes, that means it gets darker as time goes on. So you might put a foundation on that looks perfect, it matches your skin, and then 10 minutes later, you look like a freaking Oompa Loompa. The natural level of oil in your skin and your pH does something funky to your foundation, and it makes it change colors. It is crazy, I know. The only thing that I can recommend for if you have a foundation that keeps oxidizing on you is to find a good primer. Make sure that there's a really good barrier between your skin and that foundation, and hopefully that will help. I have only ever had one foundation that oxidized on me, and I never bought it again. So try to find a good primer, and hopefully that will help you. I also had somebody ask me if I wore eyelashes every day. Hell no. I do not wear eyelashes every day. I honestly only wear eyelashes whenever I am filming and whenever I am doing pictures for my Instagram and selfies and stuff like that. I do not wear eyelashes every day. I don't even wear makeup every day. I don't wash my hair every day. You guys, and I posted something a few nights ago on my Facebook and my Instagram. There was a picture of me with all my makeup on, and there's a picture of me right before I go to bed with my glasses on. I have my hair up in a little bun because y'all know I do that 5 times a week. It is so, I mean, I'm going to be a freaking fortune cookie for 5 minutes, but it is so important to understand that this is not what you're going to see if you see me out in public. This is a hobby of mine. This is something that I'm super, super passionate about. I love makeup. I love beauty products, and I love making other people feel beautiful. That is just something that I am super passionate about. I do not wear makeup every day. If you catch me at the Dollar General on Tuesday, I'm going to be in a pair of sweatpants, a huge t-shirt, and my hair's going to be in a bun, and you're going to be like, wow. I never want anybody to see a picture of me and think less of themselves. That is not the goal. That's not what I'm going for. I post pictures to show off makeup. I post pictures that I feel confident in because I'm a girl. I have days where I don't feel beautiful, and I have days where I see pictures of other girls and I'm like, dang, I want to look like them. Please, guys, please, please, please remember, whenever you see these guys on Instagram with the filters and the Photoshop, it's not real. It's not real. Okay, the next question was, is e.l.f. products good or are they just cheap? And I just said that this was my favorite cream contour palette. I really like e.l.f. products. I feel like that they don't get enough credit for how good they actually are. I have maybe had only one or two e.l.f. products that I have purchased myself that I didn't really care for. And it wasn't that they were bad, it's just they weren't my cup of tea, if that makes sense. Somebody else might have liked them, loved them even, but it just wasn't for me. So do I think e.l.f. is good? Absolutely. Do I think that they're cheap? Absolutely. And I like that. So, okay. And the very last question was such a fun question, and I saved it for last on purpose. And the question was, am I going to let Cara Layton use my makeup and play with makeup and wear makeup out into school and all that whenever she gets a certain age? And the answer is absolutely not. She's never allowed to wear makeup. She's never allowed to date. She's never allowed to have boys over. She's never allowed to talk on the phone to a boy. She's never allowed to even look at a guy. We're not letting, no. She can play with makeup at home, and then she is not allowed to even go check the mail with makeup on. Ever. 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 You guys know I'm totally kidding. I think at a certain age, I think I was allowed to wear makeup when I turned 13. I think that that's a pretty fair age. Obviously, I don't want her wearing this to school at 13 years old, but maybe a little bit of mascara, you know, some lip gloss. I'm not going to be one of those moms that freaks out whenever their kid wears, you know, lip gloss or mascara. It's going to happen. I'm not going to shelter my kid into thinking that if she wears makeup, then she is this and she's that. Makeup is an art. It brings out your creativity, and if she feels beautiful wearing it, then that's all I can ask for. I want her to be confident in herself. I want her to feel beautiful, and if popping on some mascara does that for her, then I'm gonna let her do it. Obviously, I'm not going to let her wear makeup when she's like 7, 8, 9. This is obviously in the future when she's like 13, 14, teenager. But yeah, you know, everybody does stuff differently. You may not agree with that, and that's totally fine. Okay, guys, well, that is it for this Q&A. I hope that it helped you in some way, shape, form, fashion. I know that some of these questions were really, really good. Some of these questions I had no idea about a year ago. So I hope that it helped you. I hope that you got something from it. Make sure that you guys like and subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.